So I don't believe in marriage. I don't mean like I don't believe in marriage like you don't believe in ghosts. Although, if you think about it, like now that we mention it, maybe it is sort of an apt comparison. Because how many married, monogamous, happy, long term couples do you know who still cherish and appreciate and enjoy each other and who haven't compromised on being true to themselves or haven't lied about their actions or feelings in order to maintain the relationship? Yeah. So, anyway, maybe it's both ways that I don't entirely believe in marriage, but I do believe that it exists. But my issues with marriage are philosophical and personal. And what inspired me to record this video was how sick I am of people expecting me to be happy that they're getting married. And I'll tell you why that is in a minute. So, even as a kid, I was never someone who like fantasized about having a white wedding dress. I literally said, when I get married, I'm going to get married in jeans and a t-shirt. And I totally was envisioning Tom Cruise in Top Gun, which is one of my favorite movies since I was 4. I'm pragmatic and a realist in certain ways that are kind of amusing if you look at the whole picture of my life, probably. But I'm just not overly romantic about relationships. I have deeply loving, intimate relationships, but I don't believe in the illusion that we know that something is going to be a certain way for a certain period of time, especially when it's an extremely long period of time. So I believe that marriage is an outdated institution, that it's like a debutante ball or something. And but it has like real severe and lasting consequences. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe in love. I'm not saying I don't believe in lifelong relationships. Like my whole life is about finding and growing love in lifelong relationships. And I believe that if you want to have a ceremony to celebrate your relationship, you should do that. And I think we probably need more of those in our culture, but not the way that marriage is right now. But this really isn't an intellectual video about my issues with marriage. It's about my personal issues with marriage. Because even if I love you and I think you and your partner are a fantastic match, and I can get over my concerns about the long term picture as you each evolve into your individual identities over time, you talking about your upcoming marriage brings up my trauma that I'm working through on a weekly basis. But even if I get, like, even as I am healing through that, even if I get healed through it, whatever that means, it's like telling someone who almost died and lost their kids in a motorcycle accident that you're gonna go buy a new motorcycle, and then you expect them to be happy for you. And this happens to me on a regular basis. And I guess before the divorce, I was just like, okay, whatever. But it like, especially from people who are close to me, and this does sometimes happen with people who are close to me. I'm like, you know what I've been through, and you still think that I'm going to be happy about your friends that you're telling me got engaged? And why are you even telling me about that? Like, why do you have to tell me about the people who are buying new motorcycles when you know what's happened to me with my motorcycle? Or if you're going to do it, like at least do it thoughtfully and sensitively. But people don't. And I don't think it's just me. Like, well, I mean, I know it's not just me. I don't know exactly how many people, but most people had a hard time through their divorce. And it's a complicated topic. And it just seems so, it's beyond innocent or naive. It's like being in denial or having blinders on that marriage is only this thing that we should be happy about and that we should be happy if people tell us about. So I guess this is just my request, letting you get to know me a little bit better, encouraging you to be a little bit more conscientious about who you're talking to about marriage and engagements and what you're expecting from them. Because if it were up to me, I would tell you like commit to each other. Write out the vows that you want to embody for and with each other. But don't bother doing it legally. Unless there's like a really good legal reason for you to get married, in which case, research divorce. And not because I think your marriage is doomed, but because it gives you clarity and freedom and ease going forward while also preparing you for a possibility. It's like putting your seatbelt on. Like, why do we get into a car of marriage, but nobody explains to us how to unlock the door and get out? And also, nobody tells us to put our seatbelt on. And so we're like driving around perpetually with no escape and no safety net. It's a pretty good metaphor, actually. I didn't have it before. It wasn't in my notes, but I thought of it now. You're welcome. Thanks. And it's interesting. I was thinking about how, like, what a bad connotation there is for prenups. And, like, just the whole concept feels so, I guess it just always seems associated with saving the money, right? Like preserving your wealth is mostly to me what it seems like it's about. But why are they prenups? Why aren't they nups? Not nips. Like why isn't it that part of getting married is understanding and planning for the possibility that things could and very well likely may change? Like why is it that yeah, like it's only the people who have this very narrow motivation that's usually financially driven that bother to prepare for that and then often get a bad rap for thinking that way. Whereas I'm like, why aren't we all thinking that way about the whole picture of our lives? Like, how do we want to care for each other if we decide we don't want to live together anymore, whether we stay married or not? Like thinking through those things, like it builds a stronger relationship, even if that never happens. And then it builds a stronger relationship if it does. So there's not really any downside except that it's bursting the bubble of your illusion about marriage and living happily ever after, which is a possibility. But in order for you to live happily ever after, you have to be true to yourself. And that may or may not involve keeping the same type of relationship with the same person for the rest of your life. So, if you want to be celebrated with your decision to get married, tell it to someone who's actually going to be happy for you, because that's not going to be me. Unless if you're coming to me and you're like, okay, Wendy, here are the legitimately important legal reasons that I want to get married to my partner. Can you please help me think through and figure out how to best care for me and them as our relationship and our identities evolve in the future? I am down for that all day long. But don't just tell me that your friends are getting married and you're going to their wedding and think that I'm gonna say anything other than oh, because that's about all I can muster. Or my other favorite acronym I made up, I don't know who else uses it. YGBFKM. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, that's all. Bye.